Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Andrew Pfeiffer, and I own a law firm in downtown Akron, Ohio called Pfeiffer Law. Today, I just want to take a few minutes and talk through the areas of law that I practice in and that I and my staff work to serve our clients here in Northeast Ohio. And so the three primary areas of law that I practice in are estate planning, so estate planning and estate and trust administration, as well as area number two, corporate or business law for the closely held business owner. And then the third area is residential and commercial real estate law. In all of these areas of law, I've been trained by the mentors that I've had in my career, which have been wonderful, John Rasnick being a big one, to always look at minimizing taxes and administrative costs, and to also have an eye towards asset protection as we're looking at the different areas, whether it's our real estate, whether it's our estate plan or business succession plan, or whether it's just managing the business through the life cycle of the business for the business owner. So in the estate planning context, this is a big one right now, especially with COVID, right? I mean, we're all living in this era where we've seen so many people that we love die or be affected by COVID. And it's got a lot of people asking questions of, do I have a plan in place? What do I need to do for my children to protect my assets or to make sure they don't go through probate? I love sitting down with families. I love sitting down with couples. I love sitting down, whether it's an older couple who's looking at transitioning assets down generationally and what are the tax implications or the basis adjustments going to look like as they transfer assets down, putting trust plans together, putting will plans together, powers of attorney, general, durable powers of attorney, healthcare powers of attorney, looking at all that stuff with an eye towards how can we transition it in a way that makes sense for them. If they have charitable intentions, looking at ways that we can maximize their charitable giving ability while minimizing taxes. For my business owners, I love looking at company record books, whether it's a new business and we're setting up formation of an entity, we need to file with the Secretary of State, create a corporation or Ohio limited liability company. Then we got to talk about taxes and how are we going to have that entity be taxed. And we got to talk about operating agreements or shareholder agreements, buy-sell agreements, non-competes, non-disclosures, regular transactional, purchase orders and day-to-day transactional documents that help the business to run, bid sheets, quote sheets, mechanics liens. I also like looking at real estate, right? And this is an area, real estate overlaps both into my business realm and my estate planning realm. So I'm regularly doing deed transfers into trusts and limited liability companies, looking at fiduciary deeds, looking at joint and survivorship deeds, looking at real estate purchase agreements, right? Looking at ways that I can network with title companies in the area that I have good relationships with to help shepherd and steward transactions that sometimes are for sale by owner transactions or only have a realtor maybe on one side of the transaction. And how can we get those to close and get over, all of our required federal and state disclosures, as well as just see those come to a successful close. Sometimes it's those hybrid type agreements for real estate, right? It's land sale contracts, it's leases with an option to purchase, it's lease agreements. Commercial lease agreements can be a big one for my business owners that are leasing space and need to look at their lease agreement or try to negotiate a lease that they're going into a new space. Residential leases for my business owners and investors that have residential real estate property. I want to make sure their lease agreements are up to spec. And so I really enjoy the areas that I practice in because I think it allows me to get involved with the family and help the family to steward and manage their assets through the life cycle, whether they're just buying them and just starting up. Also, in my estate planning context, I love the younger couples and planning for guardians and wills and making sure we're taking care of kids and how do we have things set up if we have young children to make sure that there's a plan in place if there would be some sort of a catastrophic accident and parents would die. So these are, sometimes tough issues to talk through, but I enjoy them. I enjoy sitting with families. I enjoy my opportunity to serve this community. And I'm excited about these areas of law that I practice in. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you need to get a hold of me at the office here, the number is 330-510-1470. Again, estate planning, estate and trust administration, right? The trust administration piece and the probate work is for after someone's died. So if we have a death, a lot of times we're faced with questions of what do we do now? How do we get these assets through the probate court, or how do we get these assets transferred outside of probate? There's a lot of questions that can come up around the time of death. And so I look forward to my opportunity to stand alongside families, whether it's a grieving situation with a death involved, or whether it's something exciting like purchasing a new home or setting up a trust or an LLC to buy some investment property or to house a business that we're going to start up. These are all exciting areas of law that I practice in, and I really enjoy working with families to manage and steward their assets to minimize taxes and administrative costs and to minimize risk to my clients. Thanks so much.